Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 1914-15 wrestling season and the home opener for Lincoln High School Red Raiders as they oppose DC Everest.
Is 160 pounds. At 160 pounds for the DC Everest Evergreens, they will have a forfeit. Your Red Raider, Junior Jake Tim.
Now, if we can hear this over the intercom, we'll let Scott Tesh just introduce the contestants here. I just want to be sure it's getting through to your folks at home. Is it?
At 182 pounds, the Evergreens have a forfeit. Your Red Raiders, a junior, Nathan Fuller. At 195 pounds, the Evergreens will have a forfeit. Your Red Raiders, a senior, Cody Abel. The match at 220 pounds, a sophomore for the Evergreens, Berkeley Corvino. Your Red Raiders, a senior, Bo Johnson. At 285 pounds, DC Everest has a freshman, Alex Borisov. The Red Raiders will have a forfeit. At 106 pounds, the Evergreens will forfeit. The Red Raiders have a freshman, Bryson Heinerson. The match at 113 pounds, DC Everest has a sophomore, Kyle Van Gelder. Your Red Raiders, a junior, Matrix Gisco. The match at 120 pounds, a senior for the Evergreens, Manny Dake. Your Red Raider is a junior, Patrick Spray. The match at 126 pounds, the Evergreens have a senior, Donald Verberga. Your Red Raiders, a sophomore, AJ Esline. The match at 132 pounds, the Evergreens have a senior, Nolan White. Your Red Raiders, a sophomore, Max Bennett. At 138 pounds, a junior for the Evergreens, Mitch Verberga. Your Red Raiders, a freshman, Robert Humphrey. At 145 pounds, the Evergreens have a sophomore, Nathan White. Your Red Raiders, a freshman, Cody Sawyer. And the final match at 152 pounds, for the Evergreens, a senior, Joe Zilkowski. Your Red Raider, a senior, Peyton Anderson.
Well, welcome again, folks. If you're watching this at home, this is the home opener for both schools. Valley Conference dual meet with DC Everest, coached by Eric Lurkey, and the Raiders, coached by Scott Bennett. Two pretty storied traditions here, and the Lurkeys have been the coaches at Everest for years and years, and it's kind of that way with the Raiders, with the Bennettses too. It's going to be an interesting meet tonight because both teams are jockeying kids around a little bit. What really amounts to is two teams that don't have a lot of depth, but two teams that have some real quality kids. And so this one here could be a bit of a mismatch. If Joe comes out here at 160 pounds, he's the defending state champion. And I guess he's not. Did we have a forfeit there? Helping me tonight is Denny Nelson, who's been an assistant coach here for years, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
They did say forfeit there, Louis.
So Joe Zilkowski gets 6 points, and he's the defending state champion. And that's unfortunate. We kind of like to see, nobody wants forfeits, but that's kind of the way it's been in wrestling.
170 pounds from the Evergreens, Sam Struck. Your Red Raider, Brock Bennett.
It's 70, 170 is Brock Bennett's. and Sam Stoik, and it's kind of interesting. Brock really hasn't wrestled here that much. He's got quite a history, and he obviously is a little bit of a favorite of mine. He's pretty good, but we got a ways to go here. There's no question about his caliber of wrestling. Takedown for Bennett. One of the things you'll see about these Everest kids, they're pretty well coached. They don't always have the same skill level, but Brock had a wrist and a bar on here, and he's pretty effective with this.
A lot of time. So.
Yeah, we got 1 minute and 9 seconds left up here. And I think they forgot to raise the backboards all the way. Denny can hardly see the clock. So
look here at the left.
Yeah. So this could be Ollie. And that's a fall. So the score on the dual meet score is 6-6, and for some of you people that are watching this for the first time,
it's 12-1. Because Zolkowski forfeited to Jake.
Zolkowski went down to 52, huh?
Yep.
I guess I'm sorry, I'm fuzzed out here. Thanks, Denny.
Yep.
So we got a forfeit. Jake Tim got a forfeit of 160, and then Brock Bennett's got a pin here, 170. And again, pins on dual meets are worth 6 points. The decision's worth 3 points. Major decision is 4. Tech fall is 5. Well, Nathan Fuller just picked up a forfeit of 182. And you know, nobody likes to see this, Denny. And this is it's kind of been the way of things, not just in wrestling. Number of kids in sports seems to have declined a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about your early years, how many kids you had in those early years at Lincoln.
Yeah. A lot of reasons, and I don't like to make excuses, but one thing, of course, is kids could come out and wrestle, start as a sophomore or junior, and maybe have a chance of making a team. Now with all the kids programs, that's not possible. And maybe I kind of think we live in a little bit of a instant gratification society. People want to get everything quick and easy. And
we just had a double forfeit here, Louis. So Abel's moving up.
Wow.
Up to 220. Abel's going up.
So Abel is wrestling up at
220.
220. Yeah. Our upper weights are pretty solid. When you, they're not that big neither, but when you talk about Thompson and Abel and Bennett, those are some serious bonus points there. Now, it isn't always going to be that way because Everest lower middle weights are really good, so you got to build up some points here now. But you know, I worry about this, Denny, a little bit is taxpayers don't like to come and watch double forfeits. And I'm not blaming the coaches, it's just how it turned out. But when you look at some of the smaller schools where they have 3-4 matches, you know, and that's
it's tough to watch.
It's tough to watch, For guys like us, it was like a barrel roll.
Yeah, it was his second shot. He switched off on it. Turned out well.
Cody Abel is wrestling. It's hard for me to keep up with this with all the forfeits. Berkeley Corvino, who is a sophomore, and actually it's at 220 pounds. Abel will be, for the most part this year, probably a 182, and later maybe even down. But he's pretty well controlling this match here.
Corvino's a sophomore, it says?
He is a sophomore, And Cody pinned him last year in 1:53. So Tesh gave me some of this stuff here. It's too bad Zolkowski, you know, nobody wants a state champion. Of course, we had Nathan Fuller didn't get to wrestle neither.
Right. That's a pretty tough part of the lineup. You go through Brock and Nate and Cody and Bo. That's pretty quality.
Sure is. Cody is really a good athlete.
Yeah.
He makes some unusual moves sometimes, but he's gotten really physical, and he's a really good athlete. And his dad wrestled for us years ago.
He did. Yeah.
He stays with that Turk on the leg, and yeah, that's really good. He's just got a plain old Turk there.
Scores 10-2.
10-2, and again, for some of you that haven't watched a lot of wrestling, that's a major decision because he has an 8-point margin. So that's 4 dual meet points. And if he can get it up to a 15 point, then that becomes a 5 point, or a fall, of course, is 6 points. So
Let's stand up.
He's a really good athlete.
Yeah. Gotten a lot stronger in the last year.
It's good technique. Kept his feet. He's trying to keep his hips down a little bit. What he's trying to do is get those hands separated and stay on the mat, and that he did. Yeah. He'll get this going into a switch here. Yep. Nice.
Nicely done.
Yeah. And then he cuts him loose. And an escape now is 1 point. And when you're just a lot better on your feet, and we lived and died with this for years, we always figure if you can take somebody down and let him go, you can break him mentally. And that one kind of backfired on him here.
Stand a little flat-footed on the edge there, I think.
Yeah. And he's got that ability to once in a while let up. And shouldn't have. I think we'll probably see, too, this early in the season, some guys that aren't in real good shape.
I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for the gas truck.
Yeah.
Should tell you people again, Melina's here running the camera. She's one of our managers, and this is about your 3rd year doing this, huh? So that's pretty appreciated. That wasn't a very good move off the bottom. He's always done this. He loses hand control on the way up.
Yeah. He's just a lot more physical than Corvino right now. Even though he's looking a little tired.
Yeah. Old wrestlers never change. Erika's over there showing him how he should pick him up and bring him down off to the side. The official tonight is Dan Parlier from Edgar, and we've had him over the years a lot. And he's a pretty good official, pretty solid. Excuse me.
Got the score 14-5.
I don't know, I can't see through this whole backboard here.
I got to look around the corner over here.
Oh, I got it. It is 14-5.
45 seconds in the second period.
Now from up here, of course, it's always easier, but there was a situation there you should have let him go. Cut him and get after a takedown because, well, he is, and he's using a lot of energy down here, and for nothing. And that's a stalemate. Now we got 19 seconds left, and we'll see what the coaches are going to do. Probably try to keep him down, huh?
19 seconds. We should be on top.
Yeah, they start the same way that they went down, and either Klanowski or Joyce down there at the score table. I'd vote on Klanowski.
Yeah.
That's an easy call.
Yeah.
He was on top.
keep him down for 19 seconds. End this at 14-5. Going into the third period, we'll be fine. Step. 19 seconds takes a long time early in the season, huh?
Yeah, when you're tired.
Yep.
4 seconds left. We're up 14-5, so that's a major decision. Starts from the left side, and again, that's early in the season. You don't see that too much. Whoa! You know what? That was pretty savvy there, because really Everest had an escape there, and he dropped right back on that single.
That's nice.
That's what you like to have. They're both looking a little tired, aren't they?
They surely are. Let's see a good start here for Cody.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Valley standings from last year. Merrill, of course, won it. They were state runner-ups last year, and they were 6-0 in the Valley, and we were 5-1. And I think over the years, if you look between Merrill and mostly us, but we've won this conference many, many times. I could search it out here, but Wausau West was 4-2, Stevens Point was 3-3, Marshfield was 2-4, and DC Everest 1-5. Wausau East was 0-6. So Scott felt that these could be two of the better teams in the Valley right here. I think Stevens Point's going to be pretty tough this year.
With these two, also, their good kids are really good. And they each have some very good, good young, good.
Absolutely, yeah. Ooh, and then it's switch again.
Nice switch again. Yep.
A little inexperience on the Everest boys.
Can use those extra points.
Could, and I'm not sure why. I think Scott's, you're going to see him cut him here pretty soon. He's draining him down here.
Yeah, he's telling him to cut him now. Just go neutral.
That's what I would do. Well, Scott's learned a few things.
Yep. 16-6, so we had 10 points.
Do it again.
Scott's just trying to get him to work up and get his two. Now he's going to cut him again right away.
18-7.
And get it to a tech fall here.
Come on, stretch him out here.
Tony's got pretty good hips if he get in position there.
He does some weird stuff. That might look good. It's a fall. I'm sure the coaches are shaking their head, but that's Cody. He's gonna.
He's a good enough athlete to make some of that stuff happen. You think, should he? I mean, his balance there is very good. He get
absolutely
back on top right away.
No, if that was a better kid, he'd have been on his back.
Going to scramble. Yeah.
But so he gets a pin, picks up 6 points, and I guess we got to take it. We get some.
Scores
24-0. Isn't that something?
Boy,
I can actually see the scoreboard from over on this
Bo
side.
has worked hard, hasn't he, Coach?
Bo's a horse. He was like
big.
230 when he came out.
Wow, he looks really good.
Yeah, and I tell you, they'll use him at heavyweight most of the time. It's 220 and then heavyweight, and heavyweight goes up to 285. So Bo is a horse.
Yes, he is.
He placed in the state tournament last year, and I think we're looking for him to more than just place this year. This is the last of the Thompsons for us, though we've had a lot of them. One of his big brothers was a state champion, Dane.
Yep.
So we'll see him. He's pretty aggressive. He's not your typical heavyweight.
No.
This isn't going to last very long. Most heavyweights don't use their legs at all. We had one years ago by the name of Rocky Beagle who
he did well with his legs.
And I'm not comparing Bo to him. I'm just saying he used his legs pretty well.
They were better athletes than
that's really so.
So we got another forfeit coming at 6, Coach.
How can this be?
We're going to be 36-0, I do believe, if I have my numbers written right here.
I think Everest got the short end of the forfeit there. Look at that. And why would this have been? Oh, I don't know. Sometimes coaches don't want to throw a young, inexperienced kid out there, but Royston is a freshman too.
Yep.
This is one of the feature matches here. Matrix Gisco, he's actually a sophomore, or is he a junior, Coach? It says freshman on our program, but
yeah, I think he's junior.
He is. And he wrestles Kyle Van Gelder. And Gisco pinned him last year, but it was a really good match.
Gisco might be a sophomore, Coach.
Is Gisco a sophomore? He's a junior.
He's a junior. Okay.
Thanks, Melina.
My mistake. Sorry about that.
You know, when you're not in the building, you kind of lose track of it because you're pretty fast. Matrix, I really thought he was going to get down to 106. He just grew a little bit. He is really powerful. He's really strong. Not the greatest athlete, but he was in the state tournament last year.
As well as that strength, he's got that explosive, that quickness.
Yeah.
That really helps.
Yeah. And he's actually, when I think about it now, I know we buy gifts, he's step-grandson, because his mom married Scott.
Yes, yeah.
So I guess that's how that works out now.
Come on.
He's
fine, drives up through this, we're in good shape.
A lot of power here.
Yeah.
This Everest kid handled that pretty well. He wouldn't let him get his hand on there.
The Matrix is pressuring into him, and now we got the mat.
It's going to be a hard job.
He got the 2.
Oh, he got the 2.
Yep.
A lot of refs wouldn't have given that. And Eric don't agree with it neither. He's coming over there. You know, I kind of agree.
Look where he's locked up. He's got him locked.
On Saturday, the Holden duels.
Tough call. Yeah, tough call.
Yeah, we like it because we got the points as a call. It wouldn't have had to have been.
If I were Eric, I'd be over there too, Coach. I think I'd be asking the same thing. Yeah.
The problem with that is he only can do that one time.
Right. Gone are the days when you could waltz over there regularly.
Oh, I think there was a time when you could intimidate, especially in this place a little bit. Matrix is a tough rider, and he's really physical. He's got a good tight waist on.
Yeah.
He's looking for that wrist under there.
He's got good pressure up on it.
Take a lot of juice out of that guy in the bottom there with you.
Looks like we're looking for
collapses your lids. This score really got away. I had no idea it would be this way.
But we get all the way in. We're 7 matches in, and we had, the forfeits and everything. So we're halfway through the meet at 36-0. And now we hit the tougher part of it. They're tougher thing.
They'll pick up some points here. And on Saturday, we go down to the Holman duels. That's a new tournament for us. And I'm trying to think who we have in here. Holman, who's really had a good program. West Salem Bangor, a co-op school.
Yep.
Western Ithaca, another co-op school, which has gotten pretty popular in sports. Caledonia, Houston Spring Grove, out of Minnesota. I got a speeding ticket in Spring Grove last spring. Went down to watch another grandson wrestle in Iowa, and I went through there on one of the coldest nights of the year. And cop pulled me over. He said, "Didn't you see the squad car back there?" I said, "I sure did, but I didn't think anybody in their right mind would want to get out on a night like tonight." So he said, "Well, I'll give you that." Matrix, was that a 3/4 Nelson?
I was listening to you and I went and watched, but I thought it sure looked like it at the end. I didn't see the beginning of it. I looked away. Shame on me. I'm up here.
And then Forest City, Iowa, who I know nothing about, but For those that are going down there,
tournaments, they're wrestling in that too, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a scramble for the JVs.
Okay.
This is tough.
This is nice. He's got really good pressure. Got that leg tied up.
Yeah, he let the chest pressure get away on him.
He was good there at the beginning.
It's pretty easy as coaches to sit up here and be critical, and I don't think we're trying to do that, but good things probably for you folks at home watching that probably look a little different. I'm glad we could do this. I get a lot of phone calls. I think, well, is it worth doing? But then for a lot of folks that maybe don't get out quite so much, they can turn on their TV and watch this. And I do home delivered meals for the hospital, and it's kind of amazing how many folks will say to me, well, we watch your team on TV. This is going to be a fall here. He's pretty tight.
Yep.
We got 18 seconds left in this period. Van Gelder is fighting this pretty hard.
He is. Oh, that looks awful snug in there. Whew.
Yeah, really good.
Well, he fought that off really well. 9-0.
The official probably has a better view than we do.
Yeah.
So team score, folks, is 36-0, and the individual match score here is 9-0. So,
Coach, an old story here, but back the first year we were in this field house, Jack Ader from Merrill was reffing. And after the meet, I remember him walking up to you and saying, "This is an amazing place, Coach." And you're saying, "Yeah, we're really proud of it. It's really nice." He said, "No," he said, "I'm telling you," he said, "this has to be the most special place they ever built for wrestling." And he says, "Well, it's pretty nice." Why? He said, "I think there were 2,000 people there that had a better seat than I did for that meet. They were all telling me how to call."
Isn't that true?
Yep.
Depending on what color you're wearing.
Yeah.
I think this team of ours is going to be decent this year. We don't have a heavyweight. That's why all this jockeying was going on. We, you know, somehow, somewhere, if we could get wrestlers and football players to be double sport athletes like used to be, like these two kids, Abel and Thompson, didn't play football, and they're two of the biggest, best athletes in school, and then, you know, it goes both ways. But it's not like the old days where kids would be 2 or 3 sport athletes, you know. Things have changed a little.
There's a lot of commitment on their time and stuff, but I truly think they gain a lot by being out in those multiple sports.
Yep, we've always thought that, and
that's great. I coached both those for
sure.
7 years.
Yep, absolutely.
It was always fun when half our defense was wrestlers.
Yeah,
and it was a good fit.
Because protecting your body and shooting double leg takedowns, that's football. That's defensive football.
And here we go. We're at 13-0 with 20 seconds left in the third period.
Matrix is really tough on top. He's physical. He's got a really good grip, and he gets that wrist.
He's pretty snug here, Walk that around.
And he got the tech fall by doing that, kind of walked that over reminded me of one of my grandsons used to do that. But that was a 15-0, and that's 5 points for Matrix. Just going to scoots that score up to 41-0. This could be the feature match of the evening now. Patrick Spray, who was the state runner-up last year, and has improved a great deal. He's a lot stronger than he was.
The match at 120 pounds, the Evergreens, Manny
Dink is a senior who they actually met in the conference finals last year, and Matrix won 3-2. It's a really good. There's 2 pretty good kids. Patrick has a really good sweep single, and he's pretty effective with it. And you saw part of it there. I've been impressed with him this summer, this fall. He's improved a great deal. And his dad is one of the assistant coaches. He's the one over there chewing on his fingernails.
And Patrick's just one of those really great kids. Just
He
a
really is.
quality young man.
He really is.
I was fortunate enough when one of those last years teaching, I was in the junior high for a couple hours and I had him in class. Just a wonderful.
Yeah, he's class act. Yeah.
Nicely done.
Nice finish.
Yep.
And Dink is kind of like Gator, you know.
He's not giving
Wrestling
that up.
has changed so much nowadays. He'll hang on to that ankle. There we go. Step over there, Patrick.
He's going to get that.
Attaboy. That was a well-earned takedown.
He
got in, finished. Dink countered really well.
That's good wrestling.
Yep, it really is. Patrick's really gotten tough on top, too.
I think he looks stronger.
He is stronger.
That helps him a lot there on top. Control stuff.
Yeah, by nature, he's not just a strong kid. His dad is pretty thin. And, that hurt him last year, I thought, down at the state tournament.
Well, he's owning him right here. He's wear him down a little bit. We got 5 seconds left.
Well, I like to, I am about getting that wrist. That's, I just think that's money in the bank. Everest must have all come in one bus.
Fans included?
I think so.
Nice, Patrick.
He's big enough. He didn't really want to be up at 126, but 20 might be his weight. Then what it did, of course, left a kind of a holder. AJ Eswine really probably is about 110 pounds wrestling up here at 126, but that's kind of it.
It's a little tough for him.
He uses his legs pretty well.
Yeah, and he's just, there's no room there. He's pretty snug.
Yeah, right.
Keeping the hips in.
So this is kind of interesting, the arrangement there. I don't think we ever had 2 rows of chairs, did we?
No,
we must have, we got the whole squad out there, that's why.
That's what it looks like, yeah. We've got 55 seconds in the second. Pat's ahead, 2-0.
We're going to apologize a little bit because I don't think Molina can get the score between periods here. It's,
No, that basket's right in the way. And we're at 31 seconds.
This was kind of an important night for us here, youth night. And Shane and I kind of run the grade school program, and we didn't get it on TV. We probably should have, but we had a lot of former wrestlers,
dads,
coaches.
That's what I was going to say, watching the guys come through that were coaching all of our old wrestlers.
Yeah.
That's really encouraging.
Yeah, I lean on them a little bit, trying to get everybody to help. You know, it's in a day and age too. I'm looking like I'm whining here tonight, but it's hard to get people to make a commitment to do those volunteer things.
Yep.
And these guys are pretty good. And then I don't know how many kids, but we had a lot of kids. We introduced them all, and then had the middle school, who we have Shane Bennett and Jerry Hamill and Kyle Van Berkel and Adam Kwanowski. And that should sound a little familiar to people.
Definitely.
The coach, so we just got to get the numbers back up, you know.
Well, I think knowing those guys, I'm guessing they're going to gather a few more kids in the hallways here as this season gets started. They're really good with kids.
Sure. The problem kind of is none of them really teach in the building.
That's so hard. We used to talk about that, you know, all the time. Just being able to see those kids between classes and stuff.
The staff that we had for maybe 30 years or longer.
We were all on staff.
We were all on staff, and it was you and me and Dave Glenicki and Dick Cavanaugh. Pete Peschel is here tonight. And then Scott and Shane the last few years.
Scores 2-0, start of the third period, folks. I know
it's 2-0, but it's a pretty dominating 2-0.
Yes. Patrick just maintains position. He's not real explosive coming out of there, but he never really gives up anything. That's a nice job.
That's a pretty good barometer because this match last year, I remember it was a nail biter.
Pat's just totally in control. It's a lot.
Well, he's on that wrist, yeah.
He's going to work and get a turn here.
Oh, Manny is having trouble getting off the bottom, and you know, we can say this. I mean, so what does Eric say? What does the coach from Everest say? You got to get up. You got to get out of there. And Manny Dinkus said, "What do you think I'm trying to do? Lay down here?"
Absolutely.
It's unless you've wrestled, it's hard to explain what it's
Patrick's
like.
owning that hip. He's got the turkey. That's tough. Tough position.
It's really hard to explain how tough it is to get off the bottom when you're being overpowered. And now he got called for stalling of all things.
With 53 seconds left, so.
And you know what? I'm not sure that's a call that has to be made all the time. What was he going to do? Dink is being overpowered. Of course, he's not getting his hips up at all.
He's cranking on this one, that boy, Patrick.
No, he's not just riding here.
He's getting punished at the bottom. That's hard. He's got his hip. He owns that hip. There's nothing he can do from that.
So what happens, folks, is when the referee, what's the terminology? You have to be working for a fall. No matter what position you're in. So
and the bottom guy's supposed to be improving his position.
And so that was a stalling warning, and Patrick Spring is going to win this match 4-0. And again, it was a match that was two conference finalists from last year.
It's a pretty dominant 4-0 win.
It really is, And the score kind of scoots up to 44-0, and I know that Eric Lurkey didn't plan on this. Now, it's going to get a little dicey from here on out. It's really nice having that big lead.
AJ's a sophomore.
He's pretty small. He probably doesn't belong up here. But I really don't know much about Verdilka, except that he's a senior, and obviously he's going to be a lot bigger and more physical. But then do a little snap down and go behind, and now he's...
the size is going to be a little bit of an issue for AJ, but he's wrestling here. Got a nice sit-out.
He's been a club kid, you know, his whole life. He's always been little. You know, Everest kind of released him here. And
you know, if you're up there, you might as well be aggressive, huh, Coach?
Yeah,
Take it to him. He's
the only problem when you take a bad shot like that.
Then you're under it.
Then you're.
But he came out with good wrist control here. Without giving up anything. That was pretty well wrestled.
Two different sized guys, and you're saying, well, they both weighed in at that. But for you folks at home, what happens when you weigh in, let's say it's 145 pounds, you have to be under 145 pounds. As a matter of fact, we had a kid tonight, Berg Diebel, who was 1/10 of a pound over, and he's not wrestling. And so the coaches were just trying to fill out the lineup here. And Dank was the best wrestler down at the bottom weight, and Patrick Spears one of our best, so they elected to have a match up. So AJ, of course, drew the short straw, and
and he's kind of, if you use that example, you had a 145. If I weighed in tonight at 138.1, I'm a 45 pounder.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I could wrestle all the way up to 52.
Yeah.
And that's sort of at another weight, but that's sort of where AJ's at.
Yeah.
He's pretty light and he's up. And that, especially at the lighter weights. I mean, you know, for Bo to go up a weight, he's a big, strong kid, and 10 pounds there isn't as much as you know, 6-8 pounds down there for a small guy. It's a big difference.
Well,
AJ's wrestling well.
Yeah. They made some rule changes, you know, a few years ago. I'm going to write an article and stick in the Win magazine about 14 weights. It used to always be 12 weights, and that was pretty good. And back at the time, I thought 14 would be great, but we had a lot of numbers. Most people had a lot of numbers. Most teams can't fill out 14 quality guys. And you have to understand it's a little different in wrestling than some sports because they don't come neatly packaged. And you might have 3 pretty good 145 pounders and no heavyweight, you know.
Yep.
And I always tell them, you know, so the other thing that happened was it used to be 185 and then heavyweight. Then for some strange reason, the National Federation made 14 weights, took one right out of the middle.
Where most of our kids
are. And put in 185, a 220, and a heavyweight, which goes up to 285. Well, what you just said, I always tell them, I said, you take a walk down any high school in the country, and you tell me how many 250-pound athletes you see.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about 250 pounds overweight kids, I'm talking about athletes, like maybe 145. I keep using that, but that's a normal sized guy in high school.
45 to 60 is a lot of those, you know, those mature kids in high school. That's where they're at. He's battling really hard here, Coach. The weight he's giving up.
He is,
And right away, doesn't leave his hips down. He got right back. That's tough.
Well, he's battling. That's all you can do.
1-4 here. Start of the second period. Now to get a good start.
If he could ride him for a while, it'd be really good for him. Get that wrist. Get that wrist.
Just a little too big.
Yeah, he went over the top of the other.
Just facing.
Little frustration setting in here.
Well, and like you said, you get underneath, and then you get that guy that's bigger on you. It's tough to move. He does a good job of hand control.
Yeah, he really does.
He really.
Yes, he does.
A little too much power came right through his
hard
hands.
shot. Brought him right up in the air.
But once again, he's not laying down there.
I think, you know, we struggled a little the last couple of years. You know, we won like, I don't know, 20 state championships, I guess, and most of it was just dominating. And then we, you know, had some issues and had a couple of thin classes, and 2 years ago, really struggled. Last year we were better.
Yes.
We were something like 19-2, and for most programs they'd say, "Wow, that's pretty nice," but it wasn't what we were used to.
Different expectations,
And that side of the state, we used to just run roughshod over. Now it's kind of like that in football too. They're pretty strong over there.
9-2 here going into the third period.
So we're kind of, I think, getting back in there. I think if things go well and we can plug up those holes, we can get back to the state tournament the team state tournament.
This is a good-looking team,
we probably have a better tournament team than dual meet team because we got a half dozen studs. but then the holes kind of only show up. But
for all those years when you said we were winning those tournaments, we didn't have holes. I mean, we could fill everything, and we had decent kids, even though we had the studs, but we could fill out the other seven. And that's what was always the difference, I thought.
Oh,
we just had those
for
bodies.
sure. Yeah. Now the real dominant team is Kakana. They won it last year. Merrill and Wausau West the last couple of years have been pretty solid. But we just got to take it one thing at a time here. We're in a number of different tournaments this year. We're going to the Ed Stick. That was a hard shot.
Yeah, it was.
Did he get hurt?
He got hurt. I think he did, Louis. He stopped right away, and it's like his leg buckled. Oh, he got hit in the. Yeah. Okay.
He got hit where you don't talk about, right?
Right. He did.
He pounded in there pretty hard.
We got like a minute and 3 left.
So DCA was Donald Vervika. However, it's said is a senior, and he wins on a fall over AJS Wine. Berg Diebel didn't make weight here, so we moved Max Bennett's up to 138. And he's actually your godson, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and he's my grandson.
And actually, my daughter is godmother to Max, actually.
That's right, yeah.
All those strange things.
So he's grown quite a bit. He's had a little trouble getting down to weight, and he's just a great kid. He hurts a little for a natural balance, but he'll give it all he's got here.
Well, last year, not being in the wrestling room watching him, just watching him every week.
What is this? What is this? They're forfeiting to him? Oh no. Gotta listen to see who this is.
There was a forfeit at 32. They're now up at 38 with these two.
Okay, this is the brother of the 126 pounder.
Yes.
And he is a junior.
This is Mitch.
And he looks a little bigger probably than Max too.
When I was saying with Max last year, even though I wasn't coaching, but watching him week by week, he just kept improving. He's really smart. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he is tough. He just battles all the time.
He had no trouble with his weight. When I got home tonight, he was in the sauna at our house, then riding a bike, because you get that last 1/10 of a pound or whatever off. He tries to slow people down. He don't have a real great quickness. So what you do in the sport of wrestling, you try and do what you do good. And now he's getting his elbow up in the air, which isn't real good.
We can think of a couple guys that did that really well. Good job, man.
His toe is up.
You think of Billy Zakcheski and Livernash back in the day, grip, just hang on, Paul Coates, just control people and slow it down. You can do a lot with that. Get the match at your pace.
You're trying to neutralize the other guy. Stay with that underhook, Max. And speaking of Billy Zakcheski, I just want to mention this. We put a program together. Actually, Joyce and I do it and sell ads, and we've got a sponsor that's. We'll let you talk through here. He got in there pretty tight. Takedown DC Everest. Anyway, Mortensen Brother Farms is one of our better sponsors, but we had a tough year this year with former wrestlers. I'm good. And we lost a few of them way before their time, and we got it in our program. But
just before we do that, we're at the end of the first period, scores 2-0.
So I want to mention this now because we lost 5 wrestlers, and you mentioned Billy Zakcheski, who was a 3-sport athlete here in Lincoln. Passed away summer. Brian Whitrock, Dave Sullivan, Andy LaBarge, Kelly Giese. Way too soon, but we're going to make a special night for them a little later on. Now, Max is riding pretty tough. Ooh, can't let that happen, Max.
Get back to his hand control here.
He rides better than that. He should have been on, stayed on there. So he's down 3-0
Yep.
in the second period with about 1:20 left.
Good position, Max. That boy.
Doesn't really have a shot. That's it's been something we've really been working on. "35 seconds left here. He's down 3-0.
Really well.
Pretty good. He's hit. Don't lose that head position, Max. There we go.
Change levels.
It's not the place to throw it, though.
No.
12 seconds. If we can get through this period with a score 3-0, we still.
We're in good shape.
Yeah. Oh, good ball,
Run it, Max. Run it, Max. Attack him, Max.
Get two, Max. Get two.
You got 2 seconds. Never got the call. No.
Oh, okay.
That was a nice effort.
Good boy, Max.
Well done, Max. Score now is 3-2 starting the third
So,
period.
folks, what happens, he got the takedown off a little pancake kind of. And if he'd have got a 2 count from the official for back points, he'd be ahead now, but he didn't, and it just wasn't there evidently. So now Everest is going to try and ride him, and he's got that wrist. I thought Max, he's pretty tough coming off the bottom right away.
Yeah, he's got that arm trap. That's tough again.
Yeah.
Max is working his hips up. Trying there.
Come on, Maxwell. He's going to get tipped too. Little hip tip.
Nothing
no
yet.
point. Scott is telling him to keep his hands in front. You can't let your hands get underneath like that. Work them out, Max.
Again, got her hips up, so
Yeah.
good there. Just keep skating forward with that left leg so he can.
Hey, he might be able to come out of here.
Here he can come up.
Pretty close. Get under that booger, Max.
45 seconds here.
Get under it, Max.
And that's 2. Nice job. That was good wrestling.
That was a reversal, folks. And the place for us to stay is right on top.
And he's got the control of the wrist.
Bennett's head
Got
forward
his hips
through.
down.
And get that wrist, Max. Get that wrist, buddy.
We'd like not to get a fresh start.
20 seconds. Well, and the other guy's probably better on his feet. That's it. Oh, boy, Max.
Keep it right here would be great, Max.
Excuse me, folks.
10
That's my
seconds
grandson.
we got,
Just calling a big upset here.
10 seconds. Now we need a
Tough start, Max.
4-3. Max is in the lead with 7 seconds left, folks. 4-3, 7 seconds. Good start out of Max here. Stopped his first move. Oh, boy. That's huge. He's got his wrist.
Good shit.
Nicely done. Wow. Well done, man.
That was an upset.
That was. It was a huge reversal. And that was just kept moving from that scramble.
That's one of those, like, you're a football coach, but if you got beat about 3 quarters,
Yeah.
and come back and won the last quarter and still won the game. And that's what happened. Last guy kind of worked over,
but he never let it get out of hand. It was 2-0, 3-0. We get 2 back. You know, he kept it close, and that was controlling the hands.
It really was. Yep. Now we better get up to this one. Jake Tim is a junior that's been hanging in there, and this is Joel Zolkowski. He's a state champion. Matter of fact, Joel and I just talked to the Zolkowskis. Mitch, he's Mitch's cousin, one of our Zolkowski.
Okay. Yeah. I did not realize they were related.
Mom just said that when she come in here. She said, you know, he learned his wrestling in your wrestling room.
Oh, yeah.
He was one of our regulars down at our club practices in the spring.
It's Cody Sawyer.
This is Sawyer, it is. I'm sorry. It's not Jake Tim. It's Cody Sawyer. I got to have Elena kind of help me out here. She knows all these. And I know Cody Sawyer, too. Yes. But he's got his work cut out for him here. First varsity match in the field house. As a freshman, he goes against the defending state champion. That's not how you would script it, I don't think. That's the beauty of this sport, you know. I mean, if you went by odds, Max Bennett wasn't supposed to win that match.
Yeah. Well, and this, for Cody to be able out here and just battle and go through that, watching Jared Jaminski walk through with the coaches here, I turned around to Peschel and said, boy, I remember him wrestling, and his freshman year he ended up in the conference tournament, kind of in there. He had a tough day. He got beat up at the end of the day. His nose is bent up and his face all scraped up, and I said, concerned about it, I said, how you doing, buddy? He said, boy, this is great, coach. He just loved to compete. He just
two-time state champion.
Yeah.
And there his senior year, he went through a real slump. Scott reminds me of that once in a while. He said, you remember what we did? He said, we wouldn't let him come in the room there for a week or so. Because he hit the wall kind of, what do you call it, slumps or something?
Yeah, he just got really down. He was frustrated.
Came back and won it all.
He did.
He was a tremendous athlete.
Yes.
And then he played football for you.
He did. One of those great things that year in the end of the season, we were playing Wausau East, and he scored a couple touchdowns. It was just fun watching.
Kickoff team, the kickoff receiving team, right?
Yep. We were running him in the backfield in that game. He did a good job. All 125 pounds of him.
Cody's going to be a really good wrestler for us.
He is.
I had him when I was on the club and all that. He and Berg Debo. Berg is wrestling tonight, but Cody's brother Conrad wrestled for us.
Yep. This is nice job. Now he doesn't have an arm, so it'll be hard to control it. Oh, clear your arm. If you could have cleared that arm in that switch, he might have gotten it. He was halfway there.
He's a pretty good athlete. I'm not sure what we're looking at here. This we thought Joe was going to be a 160. Now he's a 152 here. I'm not sure. I can't even keep track of all these with the different forfeits and early in the season, and kids go and change.
Well, and Dylan's moving up to 52 then, so Cody's in here at 45. That must be where we're...
Peyton Anderson, I think.
Peyton got that forfeit at... that was Tim got the forfeit, wasn't it? I'm not sure, Coach.
Well, Peyton's over there warming up. Cody's putting up quite a battle here.
He is. He got 20 seconds left in his first period. Scores 2-0.
Belly down here, Cody. We got 10 seconds. We're going to make it through this period without getting any more points scored on us, and that's huge.
Yeah, it is. 2-0
here. Looking back, I'm not comparing the same guys, but that's how Max hung in there. He got worked over that first period, but the score was still 2-0.
Yeah. And you're never out of the match that way.
Yeah, exactly. And,
He's battling this well. and see what kind of start we get. And get him to carry your weight a little bit and stuff. Nice stand up, work through that. Ooh, getting the R in here.
Yeah, you're talking about a senior and a freshman, and one's a state champ.
Right. It's double armbar here locked up. This is hard on a young guy here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sure is.
And that's tough to fight. He's fighting it hard. That's a bad idea.
Joe's a really nice kid. I got to know him a little bit. He's not just a state champ. He's pretty class act. So he gets a fall, and Cody put up quite a battle here. I don't know if we can. What you're going to notice, he can take his head up and shake hands with his teammates here.
Yep.
I think that's what it's always been about here.
You help him get through that, and it's all part of the team. It's not just one
guy.
And here we got Peyton. This should be our final match of the night, Lou.
Yeah, I think so. And I'd like to tell you, is he wrestling Nate White? We'll listen.
The final match of the evening at 152 pounds, the DC Everest Senior Joe Zolkowski.
Well, we screwed up. Well, we screwed up.
Yeah, I don't.
So this is Joe Zolkowski and Peyton Einerson. And Peyton was a starter for us last year.
Yep.
He's on Einerson. They'll grab and battle. And so I'll tell you one thing. I apologize to the names here, but it's you look at our lineup sheets, half of them aren't at the weight class that they were going to be.
Yeah.
So that was Nate White, it must have been, huh? They wrestled, because Dylan's out of there.
Well, originally they had Vince Conan at that weight at 45, but I don't know any of those kids.
I don't either.
So. Tough spot to be here.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah. Peyton's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
He's an Einerson. He's not real flashy.
On his hip like he used to sit before. Yeah. Looks like he's working on a bit of a sit out here to try and get some movement. Now we're going to a switch. Freed him up enough to get to his feet at least. So we got a scores 2-0 the end of the first period.
Zolkowski isn't a real flashy wrestler. He's just real solid and basic, and that's how you win a state tournament.
He deferred and Peyton's taken down here.
Well, if you want to win, if you want a shot to win, that's what you got to do. Although Peyton's best position is on top.
Right. Of course, the advantage of that is we'll have an option to do that in the last period here. So.
pretty nice crowd here tonight.
Yeah. Yep.
You're not seeing it on TV because that's the Everest side, but our side is, I'd say 3/4 probably full.
Yeah.
We have a horrible home schedule this year. It's just the way things worked out, but we have 3 home duels is all, and no tournaments. We just couldn't fill them, and I don't know if it's anybody's fault. I know that they really tried to fill them.
Yeah.
And then our one non-conference dual meet is with Freedom, and the only way they would wrestle us is if we went over there this year. So we're kind of between the rock and the hard place.
Yeah. Tough to get folks in here. Well, Peyton's battling, keeping position here, trying his back to his base.
That's what I told Scott. I said the one guy that can hold the score down with Zilkowski is probably Peyton.
Yeah, no, he got called for stalling here, but we worked to our base. We've done a couple sit-outs, I guess.
That's a call that wouldn't have to be made.
And Zilkowski's just controlling us on top. It's not like he's tried to turn anything. And that's not his style, to be real aggressive up there.
Yeah, and we're not complaining about the officiating, but sometimes you can over-officiate, I see that in football. It seems like once in a while they feel compelled to throw the flag.
We've got 13 seconds here on a fresh start in this end of the second period.
Well, if he could get
a nice
a
place
point
to get
here.
a point would be huge.
Yeah, it really would.
The exploding on the bottom is not Peyton's. He's a little long for that, but we've got 7 seconds.
Wow.
Nice sit.
If he'd have got that arm for,
yeah,
we'd have been okay.
Scores 2-0 starting in third period. Zilkowski's ahead 2-0.
And who chose neutral?
Well, it should have been Peyton's choice, but I can't believe he would have chose that. Because on the last period, Zilkowski deferred.
Zilkowski would have. Oh boy. No. Against a less wrestler,
he'd have gotten that.
He would have got pinpoints there.
Yeah. Pretty dangerous.
But there again, that's an Einerson trait.
Sure. And he's comfortable in there, as dangerous as it looks to you and I.
Yeah.
He feels comfortable in that position.
Yep.
Yeah, and 80%, 90% of the guys who wrestle will score off that. But not a defending state champ.
Probably not.
He was just too deep to counter that at that point.
You can't score points sitting on your butt.
No, he lost his hips right away on that shot. It's hard to stop. We've got 23 seconds.
Yeah, she's winding down, but you know what? 4-0. Fight this off, Peyton.
Fighting it off here, Peyton. Now we're at 12 seconds.
That was a pretty tough match.
He's coming up to his feet here. He wrestled this pretty tough, Coach.
Sure did. Yep.
We're back on our feet trying to switch.
Yeah.
Final shooting score was Spencer Evans 47, DC Everest 21.
Well, Denny, we're going to kind of wrap this up, and we're going to let Scott come up here in a while. But I think for the first dual meet, it was pretty well. I think if he was to pick a score, if we were to pick a score ahead of time, I would have been surprised that it was that margin.
Yeah.
Granted, there were some forfeits in there.
Yep. In both ways, we had the one, but Yeah, that was. They wrestled that well, for the most part.
I think so. I think so. And again, we had a couple guys we didn't have in there, but I think for me as a grandpa, that match at 138 was pretty special. Max Bennett's pulling an upset, and who else did wrestle with Patrick Spray?
And that was a dominant form.
Dominant,
he
really
just
was.
really controlled it well.
So I was pretty pleased. So, folks, thanks Denny Nelson for being here, helping us through this, and Melina, thank you for helping us. And we'll be back in a while. We'll talk to Scott Bennett. Okay.
Very good.
Thanks. Okay. Well, we're going to wrap this up here tonight. We had a great home dual meet here for the opener of the Raiders with DC Everest, and it kind of got pretty big score, bigger than I think most of us thought it would be. But the Raiders won 47-21, and we're undefeated for the season. So we'll visit with Scott here a little bit.
Yeah, it was a pretty darn good opener for us to to get here at home duel. We don't have many of them. Be able to wrestle well. Practice is one thing. You never know how guys will compete, and I thought I don't know if we were in great shape, but I thought we did wrestle real hard for 6 minutes in most cases. And for a first match, I probably was as pleased as I could have been at the end of at the end of a night, first night out.
I was pretty pleased. It was a nice crowd here, and I don't think you talked to Eric. I don't think he probably thought it was going to get away like that. I always have to, when we have opposing coaches that are a lot of years, the Lurkeys are pretty special people. And, I think Eric's a really good coach. I think there were some mismatches we kind of expected. To me, before we started, I thought it was two similar teams, both with really good individuals, both with big holes, and they happen to have a few more holes than we did.
Yeah, and I think when it's all said and done, other than that forfeit at the top, which I think we can cover most cases now, we were holding two starters tonight that will definitely plug some holes that we saw in our lineup tonight. By the time the season's done, other than heavyweight, and I think we can put 13 pretty competitive kids out there. That doesn't mean they're all gonna, wrestle in the state tournament or anything. But I think we can. I think we can have 13 guys that can wrestle 500 or better, and if we can do that with some horses, that puts us in a lot of dual meets with a chance to win.
Yeah.
We can win 7 matches, and that's our goal, is to try to find 7 matches and get bonuses and give ourselves a shot.
Yeah, let's go through just some of the. Sure. I don't know if we have to go through them all because
Scott Tesh wants to go on. We kind of made him wait so long.
Tesh is waiting here, and we're he wants to go home. I think he's probably got to work yet tonight. But,
I got to eat supper yet tonight too. So.
Oh, me too.
All right.
We did. It was a nice night for us overall.
The youth night was real nice.
The youth night turned out well. We had a lot of kids there. I look at the guys we got coaching down there. A lot of former wrestlers, young dads. It's pretty nice to see. And we don't have great numbers over at the middle school, but I think we've got really good kids and really good coaching staff. And so that was pretty good. But looking back at the matches tonight, I think the one that a few of them really stood out for me, and I'm just going through the list, but I thought Matrix wrestled pretty good with Van Gelder.
Yeah, he did. Van Gelder's a pretty good wrestler, and obviously Matrix is one of our guys that we count on. But the match started, Van Gelder came to wrestle, and he pretty much, Matrix ground him down and pretty much worked him over. He is tough on top. He's really strong. He's kind of a bull out there, and he wrestles that style. And guys his weight are going to have to be ready to battle for 6 minutes. And just that heavy-handedness, that style he wrestles just wears people down as the matches go on.
Yeah, he makes me feel good because he uses that wrist.
Oh yeah.
He gets that wrist and he sucks that in. That really takes the juice out of people.
Yep. Oh, he wrestles a great style.
Yeah. And probably one of the feature matches, I guess, would be Patrick and Manning Dank.
State semifinal rematch from last year, and it wasn't, I don't think, a real close match. I thought Patrick wrestled as good as he's ever wrestled. I thought he wrestled all 3 phases of wrestling really well. He's tough on top too. I think we're going to see those two guys score a lot of points on top.
It was 4-0, but it was a dominant 4-0.
Never came close to giving up a point, you know, and you know, he scored from down. He scored on his feet. He rode him hard, and I was like I told him, that's the best I've ever seen him wrestle.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
And AJ Essling was just a little small and a little overpowered there, I think.
Yeah, you got hit there and got pinned. I don't think he deserved to get pinned. He was wrestling hard to go 6 minutes. That's what we asked some of those overmatched guys. Just give us what you can for 6 minutes, and if you do that we can't ask you for any more. And he was really, from who he was a couple of years ago, he was mad to get pinned out there, and he fought, and I was really proud of him for that.
And Max, you know, is one of those matches where he probably lost 5 minutes of that match, but he scored the points when he had to, and I was pretty proud of him.
Yeah, he did, and you know, we moved our lineup a little bit in there, and he ended up with a better matchup. And you know, he starts slow. That's going to cost him down the road, so we got to get going a little bit earlier. But you know, he stayed with it, and you know, stayed in pretty good position. Didn't give up that near fall at one time that he could have. That would have cost him that match, and just kept fighting. Again, we ask guys to go 6 minutes. If you're in good shape and can do that, good things happen. You know, you can keep it close enough, give yourself a shot, and he did it again.
Yeah, yeah. If you can stay within 2 points, you're always in the match.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's really what won it for him. He didn't get turned there.
Right. Yeah. Cody Sawyer in there, 45 for us, was overmatched.
Yeah.
Nolan White, Nate White, excuse me, was a pretty good wrestler. I think him and Dylan would have had a good match tonight, and we put Cody in there, and you know, tough way to get your first match in the Lincoln uniform, getting tossed out there on the varsity when you're not quite thinking you're going to do that. And I thought he wrestled hard.
He did.
You know, he got caught. He shouldn't get caught in a double armbar, but yeah, those things happen sometimes when you're kind of overmatched and inexperienced. And we'll learn. And I think he's got a lot of potential, and I was real pleased with how he wrestled.
Yeah. And Peyton, not bad.
Peyton was a fraction, I don't know what you'd even say. He was darn close to pinning Joe Zolkowski if you hung him up in there, because it was tight. It was.
That's what I was saying during the match. Denny was up there.
Yeah.
I said against a normal wrestler,
that's a pin.
That would have pinned.
Yeah.
You know? And he does a lot of. He's an Einerson. He does a lot of unconventional things.
Yeah.
He's dangerous.
He is. I would not.
Joe Zolkowski
state champ.
Isn't flashy at all.
Nope.
He's just really solid.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Peyton will beat most guys. Yeah, I think he's going to be very good, and we got beat by the state champion 4-0. Never had a shot on top, which is his best position, but we were close to scoring. We really were. I thought we caught him. They took neutral. They didn't want to go down, and we got to be conscious of that. I kind of apologized to him afterwards. Maybe we should have went top in that second period to give ourselves a shot to score. But
that's his best position.
Yeah, you know, and we never got to our best spot. So we gotta look at that. That could have been a coaching mistake that we got to clean up too. First night out too for us, so we gotta learn our guys. You know, where they're good, where we're weak, and put guys in the spots where we can win matches.
And then you moved a lot of people up, but that's where our power is too.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
When you look at a lineup with Bennett and Abel and Thompson in there in those top weights.
Yep.
There aren't too many teams that will stay with that.
No, you know, when we were able to get Brock a match tonight, and we know if he can be as good as he wants to be, and that kid tonight wasn't really all that bad. He just never had a chance to wrestle, and Nate Fuller got a forfeit. Jake Tim got a forfeit. A couple more juniors in there, and Cody came out there to throw the guy around and kind of impress everybody, I think, and kind of ran himself out of gas early, and a good lesson for him. He already knows we're going to be staying after practice a little bit and getting in better shape if he wants to fulfill some of the goals that he set for himself. So that's okay. It didn't cost us anything as a team, didn't cost him anything, but we got things we can improve on.
Yeah, that move he used isn't going to work on too many people.
He does it in the room. He tries. Yeah, it's ugly.
He's a great athlete. He's powerful. And Thompson, you didn't get to see much of him. Thompson is a horse, any way you cut it.
Yeah, I've been around wrestling a long time, as you have too. You don't see many 17-year-olds filled out quite like that. Right. And he's more than that, though. He's a darn good wrestler too. Yeah, he can attack legs. He's attacked legs tonight. he attacked legs and just felt pressure and pinned the guy just basically by overwhelming him.
And he can use legs a little bit. I told Denny, I said, there aren't too many heavyweights. We had one years ago, I said, small heavyweights use their legs. I said, they're hard to beat. And I said, Thompson is one of those.
Yeah, he really is. You know, we're going to probably wrestle 220 in the end of the year, but we can put him on anybody we really want to. Yeah, any time we need points. So.
Yeah. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're undefeated, and I know that we got to get out of here, but big dual team tournament down in Holman.
Yeah.
And
they beat us the last time we wrestled them.
Yep.
And we lost to them right here in our own gym. So we're going down there to win a meet down there. We're going down there to win 5 actually. We wrestled Forest City, Iowa right away. Caledonia, Minnesota is a co-op with Spring Grove and Houston. They look pretty solid actually. They were 5th place in the bi-state last year overall. Yeah, and they have their whole bottom end of their lineup is back, so they're solid. They match up with us pretty well. And then Holman's Holman. They've been in the state tournament the last while. Yeah. The other two are two smaller schools with real good individuals. I don't know team-wise if they can put 14 guys out there, but they have real good individuals. So we're excited. We're going to get out to town. The JVs go with us, wrestle at the same school, and should be a pretty good day for us. And it's not such a far drive like we've been going to Milwaukee. So
we're going to try and bring that to you on public access here. Tesh tells me he's got to work, and Molina will be down there, but we'll try and get some of those duels anyway.
All right.
So anyway, congratulations.
Thank you.